participate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And I cannot top Representative LaVon Bracy Davis. I feel like I'm in church right now. Amen, girl, to everything she just said. And I also represent the beloved City Beautiful of Orlando. And so many of us have communities that are struggling right now with the housing crisis. And homelessness is one of the most complex challenges we have here in our country. I do believe firmly that homelessness is a poverty decision, that we as lawmakers don't have to allow people to live in poverty. Local officials must do more to address this crisis, which is why I always advocate for flexibility with the tourism development tax, because I want to see those dollars not go towards the expansion of our convention center. I want to see those dollars go towards issues like homelessness and housing affordability and addressing a crisis that, in our case, in the City Beautiful, is tied to the tourism economy. We have such a large service-based economy that does not make enough money to afford even a one-bedroom apartment today in a city like Orlando. So these are very real challenges, and I trust our local experts to solve them. And we have in Central Florida, the Homelessness Services Network, which is a tri-county regional consortium of faith-based organizations, of nonprofits, of private sector advocates, and of government officials who are working to solve this problem. We just allocated from the City of Orlando $6 million to Christian Service Center to beef up their drop-in resources to help folks get to a place of housing and security. Over in East Orange County, we only have one brick-and-mortar nonprofit, Samaritan Resource Center, which we try to get money for this year in the state budget, and they provide around-the-clock services to folks who are housing insecure. They don't have the resource to provide shelter. And so what I would have loved to see in legislation is robust investments in transitional housing and shelters. But no, instead, we want to designate a location that is probably going to be really hard to identify. Because at the end of the day, when we're requiring the public to agree to a camping site, you're asking folks to be comfortable with that. And as Representative Bracy Davis just said, the struggle we're facing is the stigma that the homeless community navigates every single day. So many of us walk past someone who is homeless and we don't make eye contact. We pretend like they don't exist, like they are a nuisance. We are annoyed by their presence. They are human, just like any one of us.
Let me quiet down the crowd just for a moment, please. If you have a conversation, take it to the back or to the bubble. And give our debaters the respect that they deserve. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it's really important that we not push aside people that are insecure in their housing, that need help, that may be navigating things like addiction, PTSD, disabilities. Instead of pushing folks away, we need to ensure that we're providing them with a safe and secure long-term plan. You know, these encampments under this bill are supposed to be drug-free. That sounds great. But the reality of making that possible with the community that we're talking about is very challenging. And I know this for a fact. I represent the City Beautiful. My office is located near downtown. We have many walk-ups of folks who are in housing insecure. You might ask me, well, Anna, just connect them to nonprofits. Let me tell y'all, we try. I have a long list of every nonprofit organization in the Tri-County area. We call each one of them. I have a family right now that's homeless, living in a car. I can't get anyone to help them. To the point where I put my credit card down and I get them a hotel room for a day, so at least they can shower and have a bed to sleep in for one night. And I don't have a lot of money. Y'all see my Form 6. And so, you know, all the debt I carry is to help other people because there are no resources out there to help folks right now. So you can't tell me just work with a nonprofit. The nonprofits are stretched thin. And we just had a fire in our homeless shelter in Orlando, 200 some men now. We're leaning on all of our stakeholders to find a place for them to live, and thank God for their support. But it is very, very difficult on an average day to find solutions for this problem, let alone when we have a crisis like we do now. And so I really encourage y'all to look at the bigger picture. Yes, let's absolutely put more pressure on local officials to take action. I know ours feel that pressure, and they are. But I don't think it's appropriate to preempt what local government's options are and to basically create a rock and a hard place where folks are going to be in a situation where approving one of these encampments will be close to impossible. and those who are housing insecure will be criminalized. Even though that's not in the bill, what option are you giving local officials to follow this law? They don't want to be sued. So they're going to criminalize homelessness, or we're going to push folks into the woods where they're going to have even more challenges getting the help that they need. And I have visited homeless encampments across my district, across Orlando, sometimes with law enforcement. And these are serious, serious challenges that require support and collaboration with local and state officials, not the heavy hand of state government dictating that there's one solution and one approach to this crisis. If it was that easy, we would have solved it by now. And so members, please listen to the experts. Every expert testified against this bill, and let's give local governments the tools they need, not restrict them from solving this crisis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.